For the love of sci-fi. Whoa, yeah. How are you guys doing out there? How's the con? Pretty good so far, right? All right, we have got a special guest for you right now. He has been, he is the most watched person on television. He's a singer, legend. He is an American actor, a world record holder for the most watched person on TV. He used to drive one of the most artificially intelligent, self-aware. He's the original Nick Fury. Recently, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy. He has 31 million views on a song he sung called True Survivor and Kung Fury. He is David.
Getting down and dirty with a Procyon loader. All right, so I have one question. Man City or Man United? Man City, say yeah. Man United? Oh! Wow, that's amazing. How you guys doing? Knight Rider is one man can make a difference. All of you, all around the world, everybody watches Knight Rider, and it takes me out of my head sometimes and makes me realize how much we are loved because of Knight Rider and how TV and film and sport bring people together. And I'm so happy to be here at the Sci-Fi Convention. You know, the Sci-Fi Conventions and the Comic-Cons are a wonderful outlet. I mean, really, it takes people who are at home and afraid to go out and afraid to show themselves or who have been bullied. It gives them one day where they can be themselves, wear what you want, have some fun, and run into another person who loves the same show as you. You know, so much, really is. It's an amazing experience for me to see how many people come up, sometimes in wheelchairs, sometimes handicapped, a lot. And they love the show so much, and it's really difficult for them, and it's difficult for the people who have to push the wheelchair and take care of that child. And they stay there for like 5 minutes with me and just talk about how much they love the show, and then they coast away. It's an amazing experience for me, and I'm really happy to be here. And I have to say, and I mean this is the biggest crowd I've ever had for Knight Rider. The lines are just massive, and it touches my heart. So thank you very much.
Well, we all love you. We can tell you that. Everybody loves you. Everybody loves you. They love calling you the Hoff, David Hasselhoff. You have so many fans that love you. I'm that one question. Now I'm going to get off the stage, let you answer that, and then let you get to the questions with all your audience and all your adoring fans here. My one question to you, Mr. Hasselhoff, is: how did you get the role on Knight Rider? How did you get that role? How'd the casting go? How did it go? How did you get it?
You know, getting Knight Rider was like a miracle. I was on an airplane, and the head of programming for NBC was named Brandon Tartikoff, and he kept looking back at me, and I turned to the person I was with, and I said, "Who's that weird guy?" I said, "He's not weird. He's the head of NBC, which is a big network in America, kind of like ITV." So I tried to get up to meet him, and there was turbulence, and they said, "Mr. Hasselhoff, you have to sit down." I said, "But there's a guy from NBC up there, and I got to meet him," because I had just left a soap opera like Coronation Street. I just left Young and Restless. So they wouldn't let me get up to meet this guy. So I thought, well, I'll see him in the baggage claim. So I went downstairs, and he was gone. He was gone. And I went home and said to the person I was with, "Hey, Brandon Tartikoff was on the airplane." She said, "Did you meet him?" I said, "No." She said, "How could you possibly let him not get out of your life?" And I said, "I don't know." The next day, the phone rang. They want to test you for Knight Rider. And I went, "What?" They said, "Brandon Tartikoff saw you on the airplane and saw old ladies playing slot machines, walking away from the slot machines to come and meet me because I was a star on The Young and the Restless, a soap opera. So I went in and I auditioned, and I didn't do well. I was nervous. So I went out and I read a book. It's a great book, by the way. You should find it. The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, which is about believing in yourself and channeling your energy. And yes, I am the Knight Rider. I am the Knight Rider. And I actually put on my answering machine, "This is Michael Knight. Leave me a message and I'll call you back." And my father calls me and I said, "Dad, I've got the greatest script in the world in my hand." He said, "What's it about?" I said, "It's about a talking car." And my dad says, "Have you been drinking?" And I said, "No, Dad, I haven't." He said, "Well, you should start drinking now. You just left The Young and the Restless for a talking car. What are you, stupid?" And so they called me back. And they said, "You know what? We're going to give you a second chance." And I took that second chance, and I got it. And that's a really important story for all of us. It's like when you fall down, just get up. And you just keep going, and you never, 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 ever give up, and you always stay in the game. If you can stay in the game, you're going to get a hit or you're going to score a goal, but you got to get in the game. That's my story for now.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, David Hasselhoff, enjoy him. He's got a lot of treats for you. Have fun.
All right, so I brought some Don't Hasselhoff t-shirts. All right. So here you go. Whoa, there's one. There's two. There's three. And the last one. Oh. All right. Now, they say this box has got a microphone in it. And when I throw this box out to you, what I'd like you to do, I don't know if this works. I've never done this before. Is that Sam? No, it's not. Hey, buddy. I'm going to throw this out to you. If you have a question, I guess, do they just talk into it? Is it on? All right, let's see what happens. Whoa. Oh. Toss that back out there. Toss it behind your head. Far. There you go. Perfect. Now, does it work? Hey! Hey, it works. Ask me a question. Are you speaking English? What's it like to play? What do you do? Well, the Knight Rider was actually do, and I read that way. And they would get the Knight Rider car, and then they did the Michael Knight. What was the question? What was it like to play Michael Knight? Oh, my twin! You know, I got a great story about that. My father calls me. I played both roles, and he goes, I played Garth, the evil twin, and I played Michael Knight. And my dad calls me and says, "You know, Garth is a better actor than you." And I went back and watched the show, and I realized he was right. Yeah. Toss that thing to the next person. Ho! Got a question? My favorite cameo, SpongeBob. Yeah. I swear to you guys, true story, my agent calls me up and he's a little on the feminine side, and I love this guy a lot. His name was Joel Dean. He goes, "Hey, there's a part for you in some movie about a sponge named Bob." And I'm going to turn it down. I said, "Hang on a second." So I called my kids in the room, and I said, "Do you know about a sponge named Bob?" They went, "SpongeBob! SpongeBob!" And then I said, well, they asked me to do a part in the show. And they went, oh my God, you have to do it. And so I did SpongeBob. And to this day, like 10 years later, I'm still the guy from SpongeBob. So it was really a lot of fun, and I'm really honored to do it. And the guy who invented it is just a guy who went to work, lived in Malibu, was a surfer, went to work for Nickelodeon, and sketched it out. And now it's the biggest cartoon in the world. It's bigger than Mickey Mouse. Next question, pass it around. Let's go. Oh.
What was it like playing in Guardians of the Galaxy?
What was it like? You know, Guardians of the Galaxy was a dream actually come true because James Gunn, who wrote and directed Guardians 1 and Guardians 2, when he was 8 years old, he saw a show called Knight Rider. And he said, Knight Rider affected me so much in a positive way and got me through some hard times. So I wrote a whole movie about Chris Pratt, who's the lead guy. His father, he thinks, is David Hasselhoff. And so when I went to see the movie at the premiere, I was on stage with the whole cast. They brought me on. And when they said the name Hasselhoff, it was just freaky, you know? And then they pulled out a picture of me and said David Hasselhoff. And then he said, and the lady says, isn't his name Zardu Hasselfrau? And he goes, no, it's not Zardu Hasselfrau. And he has a magic boat. No, he doesn't have a magic boat. He's got a talking car. And I'm sitting there freaking out. It's so great. And then there's a cameo in it where I morph from Kurt Russell into David Hasselhoff. And it was really one of the coolest days of my life. And since then, I've talked to James Gunn several times. I've had lunch with him. And also, we promoted the show by doing a video. Do you guys see the video from Guardians? Crazy, huh? And getting down and dirty with a Procyon loader. Got no people skills, but I'm good with motors. You know, and it was crazy fun. And I said to James, you know, isn't it time for Knight Rider to come back? And Michael Knight comes back and he's got an attitude. He's like really upset because maybe he lost his wife and kids or something. And he freaked out. He loved the idea. And I took the idea and James Gunn to Netflix and to Universal, and they freaked out. They said, we'd love to do it. We'd love to do it with him. So I go back to James, and I said, James, I got Netflix, I got Universal. He goes, I'm too busy. I go, oh, but can I use your name as a consultant? They said, yes. So I went to Universal, the same building, 35 years later, the same building, a tram comes by. They have trams at Universal Studios. And instead of the people saying, David Hasselhoff, they all jump up and say, Knight Rider. I said, perfect. You know, I mean, 35 years later, they're still calling me Knight Rider. I went in, I met the guys at Universal, gave them my pitch, told them about how I want to make it cool, like Fast and Furious, but it's got to have heart, humor, action, and we'll put a young kid in as the lead, and I'll be like the Devon character. And they went, okay, thank you very much. We love you. And we found out later that there was a big reaction when I came back to Universal, so it touched my heart. So I went over to Netflix and said, Netflix, I got a show on Netflix called Off the Record. Off the Record is a comedy that I shot here in the UK, and I'm quite proud of it. Half of it I don't understand because we had comedians talking to each other like that crazy accent that guy has. And I would go, I have no idea what they're saying, but it must be funny. And we won an international Emmy. So Netflix is real positive, and I'm close. I'm not as close as I want to be, but I'm close because now we're looking for a showrunner, and Universal is behind it. So if we get the show up and running, it won't be like The Last Knight Rider. It'll be the Pontiac Trans Am, and Kit will come back as Kit. And the humor, the humor in the show is going to be like, I'm going to say, "Hello, Kit." And Kit says, "Hello, Michael. It's been a long time." Kit says, 35 years, Michael. And I say, "Well, things have changed, pal." Kit says, "How's that, Michael?" I say, "All the cars talk now." Isn't that funny? And then we're going to hit turbo boost, right? And the cars will fly by him. And he goes, "There's cars going by me." I said, "I know, Kit. They go faster than you now." And I said, maybe we should hit refresh. He goes, "Michael, what's refresh?" So anyway, I think it would work really well. And hopefully, God willing, you'll hear me scream because it's kind of my dream to bring the show back. Next question. Some people stand in the darkness, afraid to step into the light. Don't you worry, it's going to be all right, because I'm always ready. I won't let you out of my sight. Okay. Hello.
Have you still got your original black jacket?
Yeah.
So, can I have it?
You can't have it, but I do have it with me. I swear to you, it's in my suitcase. And I thought, should I wear it? My fiance said, "Oh, no, don't do that. You're going to look like the Knight Rider." I said, "Everyone's going to look like the Knight Rider. Everybody in line comes up with a Kit or Knight Rider or scanner." One girl had a scanner light. Is she here? She has a shirt she made with a scanner going back and forth. Oh, there she is. Show them off your T-shirt. Got the whole place standing up to see you. Anyway, it's, yeah, I still have the original. And I saw people wearing jackets because my nephew, Nick, did a Knight Rider Heroes jacket, and you can get them online. So it's still there. And I was the one who chose to wear the dark. I wanted to be the Black Knight. So I went out and got a K, you know, and I got a leather jacket. And then we went to film, and it was in July. July in America is really hot. And we couldn't turn the air conditioner on in the car because it would wreck the sound. So I sweat a lot on Knight Rider. But we had a lot of fun. I mean, a lot of fun. Next question. We're running out of time. Where are you? Stand up. There you go. Hello, darling. Oh, wie geht's? Good? Alles klar? Okay.
What do you think? Were more girls in love with Kit or with you?
The question is, were more girls in love with Kit or me?
I wasn't sure if that was you when I was about 8 years old or with Kit, but I can tell you that I'm still in love with Kit. All that years now, Davis.
Well, that's flattering as hell. You still love Kit. You still don't love me? Come on. I'm a nice guy.
When I was 8 years old, but now I have my boyfriend, and you have to understand.
Okay.
Yeah, I can say it. Every American car exhibition, I look for the Trans Am, and my heart goes like, oh, I'm
Do you love Kit more than you love your boyfriend? Oh. All right. Well, thank you, Dankeschön. Thank you so much for flattering me, making me feel less than a car. All right. Ouch. Hi. Where are you? Where are you? Can you stand up? Okay. Thank you.
I want to know how many famous women you had on the bonnet of the car or the back seat.
What was the question? How many what?
Famous ladies you had on the bonnet of the car.
You know, my fiance is backstage. I'm not going to answer that question.
What about the back seat?
If I tell you the real story, you wouldn't believe it. We had a lot of fun on Knight Rider. And I can tell you the real story later, but I can't tell you now. It was just too crazy. It was just amazing. You know, I would get in that car and they'd say action, and I would just drive as fast as I could. And you know what I did do with the cars? I work a lot with the Make-A-Wish Foundation and children who are terminally ill, and I would take them around in the kit car around Universal. And that was the highlight of the show, was the fact that everybody around the world knew me as the Knight Rider. And I would visit hospitals and see the kids, because no matter what language, no matter what country I was in, I mean, seriously, from Finland to Italy to Spain, all over the world, they watched Knight Rider. And I realized that I could make a difference in someone's life. I could bring a smile to people. So I used that a lot. But on Knight Rider, we had a lot of fun. But that's all I'm going to say about that. Go ahead, man. Hey, man.
Is there a role that you thought I'm not going to go for, or a role that you ever turned down in hindsight which you took?
Yeah, that's a great question. I was up for Superman, and my manager said, if you play Superman, you'll be Superman forever. And I thought, okay. And so I turned it down, you know, and they gave it to Chris Reeve. And he was a fantastic Superman. A tragic life that he had, but he was an amazing man. I was also up for Raiders of the Lost Ark. And Steven Spielberg said to me, we have to go with this guy named Harrison Ford. I said, why? He said, because he's the star of Star Wars. So they went with Harrison, but I got close, and I'm still kicking, and so you know, hopefully we'll bring back Knight Rider as a TV series, and but I did turn that Superman down, and I kind of regret it. Anything else? Oh, dangerous, this thing. Hey, man. What about, the Baywatch coming back in Knight Rider? You know, I was the one who brought Knight Rider back at NBC, and I was unhappy with what they did, and they weren't really interested in having me in the show, and they weren't really interested in having me counsel them on the show. But now they are. Now it's a different story. So that's coming around. So Baywatch is a tough call. It really was. It was a tough call because I really liked Dwayne Johnson. I really liked The Rock. It was like watching, it was weird, you know, watching him play me, you know, but he's such a nice guy. and so is Zac Efron and the cast of it, that I promoted the show and I helped sell the tickets. And I got nothing out of that. No money, no nothing, nothing. I'm not even a part of the film. I don't get a dime from that film. But it's, you know, it's not Baywatch. It's Baywatch, the name Baywatch, and they're wearing red shorts and carrying rescue cans, but it's not the same Baywatch. You can't recreate what we did years ago. It's impossible, you know? And now if you see us, if we actually brought back Pamela Anderson and the rest of the cast, we'd all be running in slow motion. The whole episode. Good morning. Oh, there's someone drowning out there. I'm gonna go get him. You know, come on, man. However, there are lifeguards that are older than me, and they're still out there making rescues. All right, man. Yes, sir.
If you could play the role of any character in any movie, which character would you play and why?
I would play Michael Knight because I love the role. I miss Michael Knight, and I want them to do it right. The rights to the movie was in my hands for about 3 or 4 years. Then it left my hands because of just business. I tried to buy back for $1 million. They would not take it. So guess where they went? They went to the Weinstein Company. Isn't that funny? And the Weinstein guys are rough, and they're tough, and they're rude, and they are now getting what they deserve. But they still have Knight Rider, the rights, and they still may do it, or they may sell the rights to me. And if they sell the rights to me, I'm going to do Knight Rider the right way. Oh! Some people stand in the darkness, dominoes falling, right in the streets. Hello? You'd prefer watching Knight Rider or the Baywatch series? I don't know. Let me think about this. I prefer doing Knight Rider, but we made a hell of a lot of money on Baywatch. And it was a nice scenery, you know. I'm not talking about the water or the boats. I mean, it was, we used to have they call him an AD, which is assistant director. So he was like the second AD or the third AD. And they came on the set for the first time, and he was so nervous because all the girls, they would say, rolling, and all the girls would drop the towels and do this. And he got so nervous, but I love that word, rolling. I'd come to work and then they'd say rolling, and I'd look out the window and go, oh my God, this is the greatest job ever. I mean, come on. You know, it was really fun. And the dressing room was really fun. Seeing the girls all get tan was a lot of fun. So I still preferred doing Knight Rider. But Baywatch was amazing because we owned it. Baywatch, I don't know if you know the story, but Baywatch was canceled. So I went to Germany and raised $425,000, and then ITV here in the UK gave us $100,000. So we had $525,000. We raised the rest of the money, and we ended up making the show. And the show was canceled. But when we did it, it lasted 11 years, 245 countries with over 1 billion viewers. So we did something right, I think. Next question. Could I sing what? I've been looking for freedom. I've been looking so long. I've been looking for freedom. Still the search goes on. I headed down the track, my baggage on my back. I left the city far behind. Walking down the road with my heavy load, Trying to find some peace of mind. Okay, that's enough. I'm sure the girl from Hamburg likes that. Thank you. Anything else I should talk about? Next question. Where are you, buddy? Hey, man. Do I want to be the next? You know, to be honest, yes. Yeah, well, I don't think they're really interested in me, though, because I asked them, because I think it would be cool to be Doctor Who. Really cool. It's a good question, buddy. Thank you. Oh, I would want. Hiya. Are you Welsh? What is the question? Yeah, hold the microphone close and ask me again slowly.
Have you ever had a role which was psychologically demanding, where you felt tired afterwards?
Yes. Yes. And it was on Broadway. I did a show called Jekyll and Hyde. And I'm telling you, it was the hardest thing I've ever done because I had to play two characters at once, where Jekyll was to the right, and Hyde was to the left. Hyde talked like this. And so it was like, do you really think you'd ever let me go? And then Hyde would say, ah. And so I had to play two characters at once. And I had two wigs on. And every night, oh my God, Broadway and the West End. I did Billy Flynn in the West End. I also did The Producers in Las Vegas, and Mel Brooks came, who wrote that, which I think is a brilliant show. And then I did Jekyll and Hyde. Maybe some of you guys have seen it. It was on tour here with, was it Marty Pellow? Was he the guy in Jekyll and Hyde? What? Marty Pellow. My fiance said Marty Pellow. Anyway, Marty Pellow did that show, and it's the hardest thing ever. You can actually go to YouTube and punch up David Hasselhoff, Confrontation. Confrontation is the song that I did where I played two characters at once. And I'm telling you, after every show, you cannot go out, you can't speak. You got to go back to your room and just sit there. You know, it's really difficult after a concert or a big musical like that. I had like 20 full numbers in the show. So at the end, you would just be exhausted. And even before the show, I would get overwhelmed and have to take a nap to kind of just calm myself down, which I still do. You know, it's kind of a meditation thing. It helps a lot. But definitely Jekyll and Hyde, and that's a great question because it's really difficult. It's really difficult to get on Broadway, and it's twice as difficult to stay there because they're really good, the people who are working on Broadway. I just got done touring with Andre Rieu, and that was a great experience because he had a 65-piece orchestra, and it was tough working with him too, but I like that stuff. I like the challenge where you have to be better. It was fun to play Michael Knight, and it was kind of easy because it was me. You know, Mitch Buchanan was a little tough because you had to stay in shape and run down the beach in slow motion. But you know, it was Jekyll and Hyde was the most difficult. Yeah, but if you ever get a chance to see it, it's quite a cool play, musical. Next question. Oh, a Kung Fury guy. Oh. Give it to the Kung Fury guy. Hey, cool. You know, being on tour is really a difficult thing, but it's a lot of fun. I'm friends with Marilyn Manson, and the guy who wrote a lot of his stuff is Tyler Bates. Tyler Bates, they're in town on tour, and he just went out. He's like 48 years old, and he's out now on tour with Marilyn Manson, and he was telling me how hard it is. It's really difficult to be on tour because you do a show, and then you leave in a car, and you come to the next venue, and you got to make sure you have your chops, your voice in the morning. So being on tour, I like being at home in Los Angeles because we have something in Los Angeles that you really don't have here, and that's called the sun. It's like the weather people here. Why do you have weather people? Tonight it's going to rain. Tomorrow it's going to rain. Next day it's going to rain. Thursday, rain. Friday, possibly sun, but mostly rain. So I like being at home in Los Angeles. I am looking for a place to live with my fiance because we're getting married. Thank you. And you'll hear about it and see it in a few things, but we're looking for a place right now. And today, honest to God, we said, why don't we find a place near Manchester? We love Manchester. We really do. It's just difficult for me to walk around. Everyone goes, Hasselhoff, Hasselhoff. I mean, like the whole pub comes out when they see me. And that's like I'm wearing a scarf over my head. I look like a Shiite, you know. And I'm walking around like this, and they go, Hasselhoff, David Hasselhoff. And I was saying, I'm wearing a scarf on my face. How do they know? It's amazing. So maybe the publicity was about me being here. Next question. Thank you for Kung Fury. You guys ever seen Kung Fury? Yeah, Kung Fury's got a zillion hits. You got to watch it. And watch my video. I did the song for it. We have 32 million views. And it's called True Survivor. And honest to God, you got to watch it. You really love it. It's on YouTube called True Survivor. And I guarantee you'll like it. And we're making a new Kung Fury movie, by the way. And I'm going to be in it. So I'm excited about that. Next question.
Hi, sorry to hassle you, David. Dolph was saying before how he was in the iconic film series Sharknado himself. My question is, though, who do you reckon got the bigger paycheck?
Was Dolphin a Sharknado? You know what? We probably got the same paycheck, which was basically nothing. You just do Sharknado because it's so stupid and so much fun because it's so stupid. You have to do it. So I did it for a couple years, but that was it. It was too much blood. You know, when they had me inside the shark, I said, what am I doing here? Why has my career gone to this? You know, that's why I want to bring back Knight Rider or something cool. Next question.
Hi, David.
Hello. Hi, darling.
Who's the most fun celebrity that you've partied with? And have you got any funny drunken stories?
Well, most of my partying days were in the 80s, and I don't remember most of it. But I had a lot of fun with a lot of people. We all were, I mean, back in the 80s was fun. It was really fun. Hollywood was fun. I mean, I even knew Michael Jackson. I went up to his ranch, you know, and Neverland. And he was an amazing person. And everybody knew everybody because you go to parties or you go to a charity event and everybody would be there. But I don't have a specific person that I can really talk about that I partied with, but we had a lot of fun in the 80s as well. But now it's a different story now. Now I'm more interested in working and staying healthy and staying on my game because, your life changes. And so I'm a different guy. So I party a little bit, but you know, I really enjoy going out to a nice restaurant and seeing a musical or, you know, spending time with my fiance. It's more fun. Next question.
If you could act any superhero, who would it be and why?
If I could be a superhero, who would it be and why?
I think it would be Michael Knight. I mean, Michael Knight's a superhero. I mean, he doesn't have any extra powers, but he has the best car in the world. I think it would be Knight Rider. You probably don't even know the show because you're too little, but you should watch it. It's good. Yeah. Toss that to the next person. Toss it over to that little girl. Ho. Give it to that little girl over there. Oh.
What's your favorite type of food?
What's my favorite what? My favorite food? I love Thai food. You know, I'm honest to God, I love Thai food and Italian restaurants and the pasta and the pizza. Probably pizza. Probably pizza. I don't eat much pizza anymore, but I love it. Thank you. What? 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 Her mother's? Her mother's. What? His mommy's got talent? What? His mom what? Oh, your mother's from Thailand? Wow, that's weird. I mean, that's fantastic. There's some great Thai restaurants here in Manchester. That's amazing. Yeah, well, you know, I love the Thai people. And you know what's so weird about, you know what's so weird is I'll go into a Thai restaurant and the whole kitchen will come out and go, "You're my hero. You are my mentor. We watched you in Thailand." It's just amazing how many people come over and tell me that I'm their hero, I'm their inspiration from Knight Rider, and especially Thai. So I think Thai food. Next question. I'm glad. That's amazing. Your mom's from Thailand. Say that again? Oh, wow. That's a good question. There's a lot of Star Wars guys here, you know. I probably would like to play the Harrison Ford part, you know, because it's cool. And it's really, he's always, you know, gets the best stuff. And probably Harrison Ford. Thank you. Well, hello, this is even better. Some people stand in the darkness, afraid to step into the light. Next question, I have only 5 minutes. This is the last question. Where are you?
I'm here. Hello.
What is it?
Thank you for bringing one of the fantastic cars to our line. But just how many kit cars did you actually go through?
You know, that's a great question. How many kit cars? I just had a kit car made for me for my 60th birthday, and a man, we did a charity auction, and we auctioned the car. We wondered what we would get. And the man paid $150,000, and we gave all the money to charity. The kit car that's here is with Steve and Marina, Steve Fawcett, and I think it's called kit.com is the, or kit.con is the website. But the kit car here is from a really good friend of mine that met his girlfriend on HoffSpace online. Her name is Marina. There you are. Marina, where's Steve? Stand up. There's the guy with the real car. Okay. He's the only person that I can say, there's 3 kit cars here, but his kit car is the real one, the real deal. And I had a party, a Hof Festival in Austria recently, and I had 38 cars show up from all over Europe. And most of the guys drove them there, and it was amazing. So I still do a lot of work with the car. I still do a lot of commercials with the car. And I still do kind of make dreams come true for kids with a car. And I embrace that. You know, a lot of people don't like to be the Knight Rider or be stuff they were years ago. I love it. I think it's fantastic that 35 years later, you guys are still here. Okay. That's the last question. Anybody else? Come on, one more. Go for it, man. Yeah. Here he is. What's my favorite episode of Knight Rider? I think it's Kit versus Car, because Car was C-A-R-R, and it was K-A-R, Knight Activated Roving Robot, and it was the evil Car, and Kit had to meet his match, so it was a lot of fun. Anyway, I got to go back, sign some autographs, take some pictures. Thank you all for coming. Remember, thank you. Cheers. God bless. One man can make a difference. Remember. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.